Hello and welcome to the New York Sports Show. I'm Dominic Konowski, and we are close to being a month removed from the 2025 trade deadline. With that said, we have seen a very clear sample size of the numerous trade acquisitions that the New York Yankees made, and overall, the majority of has definitely not panned out the way the Yankees front office has expected them to. I'm just going to hit very quickly before I get to this main topic. You have Duvall, who's been very inconsistent, not the biggest sample size for him due to him being inconsistent. Jake Bird, he was optioned down to AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre as fast as he arrived to JFK. He currently has a north of 5 ERA at the making of this video at the AAA level with Scranton. Then you have Austin Slater, which was definitely a platoon, definitely a depth signing. He's on the injury list, may not even return, at least not until late September at this point. Ahmed Rosario, I think that was a very solid pickup. You have an infielder who could also play outfield positions, who's known for his speed. Overall, he did spend some time on the injured list, not the biggest sample size for him, but overall, he's been solid as a New York Yankee thus far. And then David Bednar, I know he's had some hiccups, some blown games here and there. It has been kind of rocky since becoming a New York Yankee. I know that switch from the National League to American League is always a big transition, at least for some players in general, especially pitchers. But overall, I do feel very confident and very comfortable as David Bednar being the set closer for the New York Yankees, especially as they try to make this playoff push. And then you have Ryan McMahon. He was the fourth statement trade that the New York Yankees made during the season. He came into the Bronx red hot. He's cooled off tremendously. I am a little concerned at this point. And then you have Jose Caballero, who I think is probably the most unlikely candidate to be a standout in the Bronx. And I love his attitude. Before I hit on anything else stat-wise, I love his attitude. I mean, Caballero, he is a true New York Yankee, and seeing him get ejected a few nights ago, seeing how passionate he was, especially on a new team, it's just great to see. And you could say, oh, well, that's his job. Nonetheless, Caballero, he has that true Bronx attitude. Now, he actually switched dugouts. He went from Tampa Bay to New York in the middle of the series in the Bronx. So that was kind of funny to see. You don't have that happen too often. And since becoming a New York Yankee, we're looking at what is currently a 16-game sample size at the making of this video. He has a positive 0.8 WAR. He's put up a very big production, especially in my opinion, since wearing the pinstripe uniform. In 16 games, he's batting .281. At one point, I think it was 2, 3 days ago, he had well above a .325 batting average. Of course, it's going to come down as more games, more at-bats are made as a New York Yankee. Overall, he's just above a .200 career hitter. But it is very nice to see that almost 20 games in, he's batting well above the .250 mark. But what I'm looking at right now, the highest OPS with any team of his career, 868 OPS as a New York Yankee, overall 638 on the current season for his OPS number. And then, of course, 6 stolen bases as a New York Yankee, caught stealing once. That was when he was ejected. Did not agree with that decision. It looked safe to me and many other people. Overall, 40 stolen bases on the season. Actually leads the league. He's one of the fastest players in the league. He could play outfield. He could play infield, primarily shortstop. And seeing Caballero store over Anthony Volpe the other day against the Boston Red Sox in what was undoubtedly a must-win playoff-esque like game in late August, that was a statement benching that the New York Yankees made of Anthony Volpe, who, by the way, in his last 16 games, Volpe is batting a .113. He's 6 for 53 with 1 home run and 5 RBIs. So it looks like Jose Caballero is the best trade line acquisition, at least at this point, that the New York Yankees have made. He still has multiple years of control. Overall, this was just a great pickup, and the New York Yankees only gave up Everson Pereira, who overall has been very mediocre, I guess you could say, for the Tampa Bay Rays. So the New York Yankees have definitely won this trade, and I'm very excited to see what Jose could do for the rest of the season and hopefully in the playoffs, because I do think the New York Yankees will use his legs a lot in the playoffs. Like I said, one of the fastest players right now in Major League Baseball. I'm Dominic Konoveski. Take it easy, folks.